I take it. But I wanted to start off by sharing a little bit, kind of about me and who I am. What is that for?
You're off the market? Are you serious?
So I wanted to talk a little bit about kind of what I'm passionate about or what my life has kind of revolved around. So I'm going to talk to you about the power of a heart. And some of you totally know me, and some of you know why that's relevant to me in my life. I'm going to explain that a bit. But if you don't know me, please come say hi, chat with me after. I'd love to get to know you. I know plenty of you in here, but it all started when I was a little younger. So I'll show you a picture. This is me when I was a little younger. I was expecting a lot of awns, but that's okay. This is me when I was younger. I had some various surgeries when I was a child. I was born with a heart condition. Now, over the course of my life, I've received different operations and surgeries. I've had my aortic valve replaced. I've had my pulmonary valve replaced. I've had my ascending aorta rebuilt and reconstructed, and my left ventricle reconstructed. So I like to just tell people I've gotten renovated a few times, and I kind of just get reconstructed every few years. And I'll explain a little bit about that. But I've learned a lot of lessons from my own life of going through these surgeries and through these heart operations that I kind of want to explain to you. So ever since I was little, I always loved sports. I loved being in sports. I loved going to a ton of activities, but because of this heart condition that I have, I've been pretty restricted and regulated on what I can do. But when I was younger, I didn't have too many of those restrictions, so I loved to play basketball. Basketball is what I did all the time. I was on a team. You guys were a really good team. It was called the Junior Jazz. I don't know if you've heard of it. We were pretty solid. We were on a good team, and I loved playing with them. And I have a vivid memory. It was one of the first memories I've learned about the power of a heart. It was when my coach was helping me understand the purpose of my heart in a basketball game. It was the fourth quarter. We were the home team. And it was a tie. It was a tie basketball game. I remember my coach called a timeout because I had given up a few turnovers. And he pulled me aside and he said, "Connor, what are you doing? You just give away the ball 3 times. I said, "I don't know. I don't know where my head's at. I don't know." And he said, "Stop." And he said this quote that I'll never forget. It was pretty powerful. It stuck with me. He said, "It's not about where your head's at. It's about where your heart's at." I'm going to read it one more time. It's not about where your head's at. It's about where your heart's at. That always stuck with me. He said, "I don't care if you're thinking about your next dribble. I don't care if you're thinking about your next play. I want you to want to win the game." He said, "Where's your heart at?" It always stuck with me. I went back in that game and started playing like an NBA All-Star. I actually took a picture of the scoreboard after the game. I'm totally just kidding. For those of you that nodded your head and thought, "Wow, he's a really good basketball player," I appreciate that. This is totally just a fake picture. But I want you to remember that. It's not about where your head's at. It's about where your heart's at. Okay, I want you to remember that. I'm going to pivot a little bit to a more recent experience that I've had. These are some pictures of me in a hospital. Recently, this past December, I received my latest heart surgery where they underwent yet another renovation to my chest. And if you look there, I'm a die-hard Aggie thin and through. I put up the Go Aggies sign because I absolutely love this school and I love the opportunity that I have to be here. But it was tough to get through that time. You can see in the bottom left, or your bottom right, I had to relearn how to walk. For a few days, I wasn't able to use my legs. In fact, I couldn't even stand up or get out of bed. It was a tough time for me. I had to relearn how to walk. If any of you in here have done that, it's tough. But there was a time where my nurses came in and they said, "Come on, Connor, you got to get up. We've got to go on a walk, go learn to do the stairs." And I was like, not today. I don't want to. And this is what they responded with every time I said I don't want to. They said, "Well, your heart won't get any stronger if you don't want it to. Your heart won't get any stronger if you don't want it to." I learned a life lesson there. And here's that lesson. I can replace that word heart with almost anything I want. Your grade won't get any better if you don't want it to. You won't get any faster if you don't want to. You won't get any better at X, Y, and Z if you don't want to. It was a powerful concept to me. I got out of bed. They helped me day in and day out. And if you haven't noticed, I started to walk a whole lot better than I was in that picture. Your life won't change if you don't want it to. That's the power of a heart. That's the power of a desire. Okay, I have one more story for you. This is one of my surgeries that I had about 4 or 5 years ago. I was 15 years old in this picture. And the hardest part about telling this story is what you don't see. I had just woken up from a surgery. I'm in the ICU of a hospital. There's a million machines surrounding my bed, beeping at me constantly. And I have a little iPad sitting on my stand playing Mission Impossible. I love Mission Impossible. Talk to me about Mission Impossible. I love it. But the most important part of this photo, or the story of this photo, is when I looked over at about 3 or 3:30 in the morning to see my mom sitting on 3 hospital chairs, curled up in a ball. It absolutely broke my heart. She was uncomfortable. She was suffering. She didn't want to be there, but she was there because she loved me. And this is the third lesson I've learned about the power of a heart. Is that loving someone, having a relationship with someone, means that you're there for them and with them. Through the hard times, when their hearts aren't doing so good, strong hearts will stay with them and love them. I learned that lesson from my mom. I learned a lesson from my head coach, from my basketball coach, when I learned that it's not about where your head's at, it's about where your heart's at. I learned in the hospital 3 months ago that if you want it, it will happen. And it starts with the desire of your heart. And I learned from my mother that day that it's about connections. It's about relationships. And it's about doing what you can with what you have to show others that you love them. Thank you.